Alrighty, y'all, we got more. I don't got light, so hey, let me work something out real quick. If you don't got light, use your phone light. All right, so we got Adi's kit here. This is a oh my god. Okay, we got a TETRA, bro. A burst 2 supporter, looks like an AR character. So let's see how she's looking like. I can't be bothered with these TETRA characters, bro. But let's take a look, bro. Alrighty, she's an AR, so she could be a shotgun to, a support to shotgun as well, if they're really just gonna go full shotgun support, since Toph was one of that. I doubt we need more, so let's take a look. So, first skill, cleaning time. Activates when entering battle, affects all allies. Perfect Maid becomes immune to 1 debuff and stacks up to 1 time continuously. So they're just immune to debuffs the entire game, essentially. Well, they're immune to 1 debuff the entire game. Wow. Okay. So far so good, right? And the second part is when activates when own HP falls below 90%, affects all allies. They get a attack buff of the caster's attack for 5 seconds. Now here's my thing. This is all level 1s, right? These are level 1, right? So if this goes up to level 10, or if it goes up, does the debuff count go up, right? I feel like this first skill could be very useful for so many content where the boss debuffs you. For example, I was just fighting, I don't remember what the name of the boss was. I was just fighting I think the second boss, or it was the first or second boss in a Union raid, and the boss was debuffing me. I think it was the second boss, right? It was debuffing me where it was lowering my attack. With a character like this, we can be immune to that, right? So that was pretty cool, right? Let's take a look at the second skill, right? Activates after 200 normal attacks, affects all allies. Perfect Maid becomes immune to 1 debuffs and stacks up to 1 times continuously. So it's just the same thing as the first skill, just now it's an additional one you get, I assume, just with 200 normal attacks, right? So pretty good there, right? And because they're different skills, it counts as different buffs, right? So you would get a buff on using cleaning time permanently, the immune to 1 buff or whatever, and then wait, but is this permanent? Oh, it is permanently. So the first time when you start the battle, you guarantee just have 1 debuff immune. You're just immune to 1 debuff, guaranteed, right? And then after 200 normal attacks, you're immune to another 1 debuff continuously, right? Because the buff is going to say cleaning time and then rest time, right? So there's 2 different ones, right? And let's see. Activates after 120 normal attacks, affects all allies, increases max HP by, it says 8%, but these are level 1. It increases the max HP by a certain percent of the caster's max HP, and then it says without probably like healing, like what Mast has essentially. Yeah, without restoring HP for 10 seconds, whatever, because that's what Mast has. I think there might be more to that. Because there seems to be a bit more, I don't know if you guys can see it, but there seems to be a bit more space here for that skill too, so there could definitely be more to that. But maybe, I don't know, because there's a whole nother line as well that could just be from another line, so that might be all the skill too, right? And then the burst skill, 20-second cooldown, affects all allies, max HP increased by a certain percentage of the caster's max HP without restoring HP. It's good because she's a supporter, so it's going to be nice. And then attacks attack 6% or whatever it is. It's not really that crazy. I think the only cool thing about this character is that she's immune to debuffs, but overall that's all she has. I feel like a supporter who's giving you an attack buff based on her attack is not good. That's one. The HP buff without restoring HP is gonna be nice. But it's like she's a burst 2 as well, so you have to pick either her or Mast. And I think honestly I would probably pick Mast still. I do think the debuff thing is going to be very useful, so I'm very intrigued about that. Sorry about that if you heard that. I'm very intrigued about that, but overall I'm not sure. I feel like out of the 2, I feel like maybe, honestly, if you want me to be so honest with you, because actually let me show you guys something. I was gonna make a video about this, but I could put it in this video, why not? But yeah, apparently there's a collab, if I could find it here. There's a collab after this, right? That's what they're saying, right? I believe this will be worth the wait. They're saying it's a collab. 86 saying there's going to be a collab after the limited banner. Now, the thing is, I think both of these characters are a skip, right? And I say that because Brevity is going to be a pretty, you know, we have to see how it's going to work. I think she's going to be pretty good. But the thing is, she's only going to be good if you have Tove and Leona. Not only if you have Tove and Leona, but if they're invested. Mind you, Tove alone needs to have her first skill at minimum level 10. Minimum level 9, my bad. Minimum level 9 to really work, right? To get the most out of it. So you need to fully invest into Tove and Leona, in my opinion. Or at least heavily invest into Tove and Leona. And then, mind you, you have to also invest into Privity. Right, so I feel like that's not worth it. One, you do not have Privity. I mean, you do not have Tove. You do not have Leona, most likely. A lot of people skipped on them. I did tell you guys, to be fair, I did say these are characters that are going to be very useful when we get more shotguns, right? I was talking more about Pilgrim shotguns because I feel like that's the only time, I felt like that's the only time we're going to get a good, you know, shotgun character, right? I didn't expect them to do a limited character for Valentine's this year since we didn't get one last year. But I think, I mean, I told you guys that was going to happen there. I didn't think it was going to happen that quickly. Should have knew, obviously, since it just felt weird that they were just dropping shotgun supports without a shotgun character to, like, support, right? So, makes sense there. But overall, you needing to have Tove and Leona. Now, you don't need, let me reword this. You do not need to have Tove and Leona for Privity. You don't need to. But then it's like, what is the point, right? Even if she works with bunny girls, it's like you're not gonna summon for her because you have the bunny girls. This character wants to be used with Tove and Leona. Yes, you can use her with other characters, that is true, but you want to use her with Tove and Leona. So if you have the bunny girls, if you have the school girls, there's no point for you to summon for this character because you're not gonna replace your Red Hood, your Scarlet, your Modernia, your other Scarlet, your Ludmilla, your Summer Ines. You're not gonna replace any of those characters for this character, right? The only reason why you would be summoning for this character is if you really, one, like Privity, which I know a lot of people do, so I expect a lot of people to summon for her. That's one. Two, if you're a waifu collector, that's the second reason. And then third reason is because you already own Tove and Leona. Those are the only reasons, only valid reasons why somebody would summon for this character. They like them, they're a collector, or they have Tove and Leona. If you have bunny girls, if you have schoolgirls, it doesn't make sense for you to summon for this character because you're not replacing your main DPSs already, right? Who's on that team. It doesn't make any sense. And then for this character, could be useful in PvP. I do think this has some use when it comes to those bosses that do debuff. There's not many of them though. So it's not like, oh, must summon character, right? None of these characters are must summon characters at all. But realistically, I don't think any of them are characters you should summon for or anything like that. It just doesn't make sense to. The immune to debuff is cool, but I think that could be very good for, like, there's some bosses that could be very good for, right? Like Nihilister, for example. When Nihilister breezes, like does her fire breath on you, and then she gives you that debuff over time, the dot damage. That's where this could be useful, but it's not like something that's super efficient. I'm gonna get this because I feel like I can have mad use for this, especially when it comes to solo raid, union raid, and obviously those bosses that do debuff. So I'm gonna get this regardless, and it's limited. I'm not missing out on a limited besides Anne. But yeah, overall, I do think these characters, I think they're unique. I think they are characters you should skip, especially since there might most likely be a collab right after them. It doesn't make sense to summon for these characters. Unless you, like, you know, collector, waifu, or you're going to have their main team, which is going to be for Privity, Tove, Leona. For Addie here, it's gonna be anybody, right? Realistically, it's not even gonna, she doesn't have a team. She's just there to, like, stop you from being debuffed, right? But the HP increase, the attack, like, you're not using her with 2B because Mastiff's still better, right? I'm sorry. So that's just what I think. You guys let me know what you think. It's your boy Zxous, and I'll see you guys in the next one. I'm out. Peace.